All right, welcome to On Scene. I'm Mason Matthews.
Joey Huffman.
And we've got a guest here today. We got Black Cat Bob here with us. Got him all suited up. On this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about fireworks. So as we approach fireworks season, Joey, I mean, I know you've seen in your career, I've seen in mine, as we approach fireworks season, it feels like every year we make a lot of injuries, basically, where somebody's mishandled fireworks or didn't even mishandle it. It just accidents happen.
They're accidents, and I mean, nobody intends for anything like that to happen, but there's just a lot of misconception about fireworks, and they are more dangerous than we give them credit for. And we just want to demonstrate some of that today. And even when you're trying to be careful, things can go wrong.
Well, like on a previous episode, we had our fire prevention administrator, Ross Coleman on.
Yeah.
He talked a little bit about different fireworks. Well, I think there is a misconception where they buy it or what it looks like or how big it is. Oh, this one's safe. It's not that big of a deal. I've got some sparklers here. We're going to do some demonstrations here in a second and show you that those seemingly safe fireworks that you've been using your whole life, and there really is no safe way because accidents happen. That's why we have a job, right?
That's
why we got a show called On Scene.
That's exactly right.
So,
something as inconspicuous even as a sparkler. My daughter is 21 years old, and she has a scar on her shoulder from a sparkler that she got when she was like 3 years old, 3 or 4 years old. So I've seen at weddings where these things have caught things on fire. They're more dangerous than we give them credit for.
They are. Well, and that's kind of what we want to do. So, on this episode, Black Cat Bob here has so gladly accepted our invitation, and he's so willing.
Our volunteer.
So willing to basically to hold some of these fireworks. And what we're going to kind of do is just demonstrate, what you do in the backyard, or hey man, we're going out to the lake and we want to do whatever. But it really can have some, I guess, dire results.
Some devastating, life-changing effects for the rest of their lives.
Good deal. All right. All right, so you can see, even just after that demonstration, I was a little surprised by that.
That took off faster than I expected. Those things get hot, a lot harder than I expected.
Poor Black Cat Bob here.
He's a little worse for wear.
So something as seemingly as safe as a sparkler. I've used 100 of them in my life. One thing that we need to remind everybody that fireworks are illegal inside the city limits.
Yes, they are.
You've got to be greater than a mile outside of city limits. But you can see here, I was just let's talk a little bit about Black Cat Bob's injuries here. What do we do on scene?
Well, one of the bad things about a fire, somebody getting lit on fire, is that when their clothes start to burn, they can't get them put out. Of course, you stop, drop, and roll. You learn that as a kiddo. But once the fire is out, you can see how significant the burn here would be. I mean, that was a lot of close contact with direct flame. He's going to have substantial injuries. This would be like not go down to the ER, but you're going to end up at a burn center somewhere for an injury like this. That's a long healing process.
It's going to be painful. If you've ever accidentally touched a stove or touched a skillet, think about how bad that hurts just your hand. There's so many things that comes with burns, and it's not just treating the burn itself, it's the infection possibly after that. This is good. That would be a serious
injury. That'd be a serious burn. Not only would you blister up, you would have sloughing of skin.
There's so many things that affect this. What kind of shirt do you have on? Are you wearing polyester? Are you wearing cotton? Do you have some new lotion you tried out today? There's so many things. Suntan lotion, hairspray. Oh, there's just. I was just amazed by that. So, you think about at a wedding, right? People light sparklers and, they're wishing the groom and bride great as they go out, and, you're paying attention to that. You're not thinking about, some people are going to, I would never just hold the sparkler against my shirt. Nobody means to. And you saw there it took, a couple seconds. Once it took on, it went.
I don't know about the weddings you've been to. The weddings I've been to, sometimes there's a large amount of hairspray in the room.
There is.
And I'm telling you, I've seen
perfume, cologne,
a flash fire when that stuff lights off. And another thing that really concerns me is because sparklers don't explode, they don't blow up, they don't take off. We give them to little kids because they're, it's just a little sparkler. The kid turns around to another, just like what happened with my daughter, and burns them. That's there forever.
Well, that's the thing. They're I know how I was with sparklers, right? There's bright lights, and you kids, and they're looking at it. What do? It's closer and closer to the face. That's just, and all we did was a shirt here. I think here in a second we're going to demonstrate some things with Black Cat Bob's hair here. There's a lot of danger there. So you could see how careful you really need to be. Black Cat Bob did not fare so well on that one.
He did not fare well.
Again, just a sparkler, man. Seemingly safe. Apparently Black Cat Bob might have used a little hairspray this morning.
Looks like he did.
Maybe the same brand you use. I'm not sure. Right now I'm working on a little growth on my hair. So
you guys that grow hair think y'all are so cool.
I might use a little hairspray right now. This is making me rethink it a little bit. I mean, here's the thing. Guys with long hair, girls with long hair, not even long hair. If you've got anything around your face, you've used any product in it, you put cologne on, you've got lotion on your face, you've got a sparkler going, it's close to you. Like you said, we're talking about kids possibly like getting right up on it. Add alcohol to this, man.
Alcohol is in so many things that you're taking a risk. Well, you're taking a big risk.
I don't know what the percentage is, but a lot of the runs that we go on, usually alcohol or something is involved, right? Yes. I mean, it impairs judgment. No matter how safe you think it is, and now we're adding a little, we're adding fire to it. That could be a bad thing. Really got to be careful with this stuff. I mean, just even getting close to the hair, you saw Bob here just didn't do well. Let's talk a little bit about injuries. Again, kind of similar to the abdominal injury we were talking about a while ago. Man, but the face is a little different.
When you get the face or the neck burnt, the neck, it's a two-edged sword. Not only is your airway swelling on the inside, on the outside, your neck is going to start swelling up. Anytime you get a burn, it starts to swell up. And as it starts to swell, you're talking about an airway compromise. It could be life-threatening.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, us as firefighters, we wear SCBAs into fires so that we're not breathing. I mean, here's the thing. Now you've got superheated fumes. You're breathing in. Obviously, that's going to cause all kinds of airway damage and some immediate damage.
Exactly. It's not just the toxicity of it, it is the thermal aspect of it. And your airway is not meant for high temperatures. And you taking a breath and breathing any of that in, it's going to be very dangerous.
Well, and I want to again mention, if any of these, if there's, even the thought that something bad is coming or someone might be injured, got to call 911, man. Got to call 911. You can call or text. But you got to call 911 and get us coming, because this is going to be a time-sensitive
Get us on the
injury.
way. Get us on the way, and then everything else can be done after. But get us headed your way so you can get some help.
Well, what this is doing is, I think this is echoing what Ross told us in that previous episode is really the safest way to do
really
fireworks or watch fireworks or experience fireworks is go to a license, someone who's putting on a licensed show and has all the permits to do it and is a professional, basically. So
absolutely.
All right, well, Joey, Black Cat Bob's having a bad day, man.
He's having a bad day.
So here's the deal. Yes. Another one, seemingly, not dangerous, right? Just sparks and showers, right? But here's the thing. Almost every one of these fireworks that we're demonstrating today, right on the label, on the warning label at the bottom, it says, do not hold in your hand. I would say the majority of people that are firing fireworks, you got to hold it to light it. This is, you positioned it right at the guy. Everybody does, right? Well, you got to look at it, you got to light it.
Exactly what you're saying. He goes, well, that's pretty extreme. You had it pointed right at him, and I get that. How many times do you go over to light the firework and it falls over, or you have to hold it because of the wind and you light it? I'm telling you, it gets away from you faster than you think. And not with this particular firework, but with others, we have people come in, kids come in, missing digits, literally due to the blast injury. They're coming missing digits. The burns that we talked about, I've seen these things go off, whether it's a shower or a rocket, and hit people in the eye, and they have permanent sight loss for the rest of their life. They're just really dangerous. You just got to be just so careful.
And I would say the majority of the injuries are hand injuries and then face injuries. Why? Well, they're either holding it and they're looking, right? You got to see what you're trying to do. I got to get close. Even Lieutenant Guerin here, as he was, our assistant lighting Black Cat Bob's fireworks here. He's having to get right up on it. He's having to, he's wearing gear and he's got gloves on. But you could see even just something that's just, it's just, some pretty lights and just a few sparks. It's not a big deal. You could see Black Cat Bob's got some pretty serious injuries here. Again, burns all the way up and down the arm, to the torso. You saw how quick his hair caught on fire. If this were somebody, we'd be moving pretty quick to the hospital.
This would be a sick patient.
Right. Something, as we were setting that thing up, I mean, I think the projectile was like that big, right? Not something huge. And Black Cat Bob, he was getting ready, he's walking over, just puts in his pocket unseemingly. Somebody shoots him with a Roman candle, and boom, this thing's lit. He can't get out of his pocket long enough. I mean, that you saw the explosion there. I mean, that would take chunks of flesh out of his leg. I mean, we're talking bad injuries.
That would be an injury that would take years to try to recover from, and even then, I don't know that he's going to walk right.
And time sensitive. I mean, a lot of times, we're carrying tourniquets on the ambulance. I mean, we're talking about some damage to some big vessels that are running through our legs. Minutes. I mean, possibly minutes.
So the thing about this is, sometimes I've seen displays where he was trying to be real careful for his family, and so he took it, a ways away from them and to light them off, and he literally took and put extra ones in his pockets to carry down there or to reload the tube each time, because he was staying down there while his family was up and away. And that just came to mind while that happened. I thought, because who's thinking, well, I don't put firecrackers in my pockets. It could easily just as a
spur of the moment thing, not thinking about it. Well, here's the thing, it's not only right in his pocket. You saw it shot out of his pocket, it blew his jeans right open, and 20 foot away, it got a little close to our camera there, but 20 feet away, I mean, so the people, just because you're not standing right in this vicinity does not mean you're safe, 20 feet, 30 feet, I mean, everybody that's around is at risk.
And remember, I said, these are not, you can't, you don't know where these are going to go. I remember as a kid, my cousin had lit a firecracker, and all the extra firecrackers were in the back of the pickup. Well, it ended up in the back of the pickup, and our whole display lasted about 20 seconds.
A while ago, we were thinking about that when we were getting ready to do this demonstration. We had to move our fireworks because we're worried about it being close, and we're trying to do a demo here. So I mean, if we're having to take those types of precautions, chances are you're not taking those precautions when you're just trying to have fun.
You got charged hose lines, people in bunker gear. I mean, they were doing it as safe as we know how to demonstrate how unpredictable and dangerous these can be.
All right, Joseph, Black Cat Bob did a little different this time, right? He didn't hold it, right? And most of these say you need to put it on a flat surface. So we put it at his feet, lit it on fire, did not have a very long fuse, and all of a sudden, boom, it was shooting up, underneath him, and he caught on fire. I mean, not to put it different. And here's the thing, a lot of these things, when we were reading that, when we were getting ready to test that one out, it said, hey, be careful, this one could reignite. As me and you and we're talking right now, it is literally on fire.
It is still burning over there.
Yep. So one of the things you need to be careful at, and Ross talked about that in our previous segment, is after you do a firework, you need to submerge them in water. They need to go in water. They need to soak and be in water, because these things, just because you set them over here and it's already been spent, there's still remnants in there. There's still explosive, components still in the shell or whatever you have. There's still explosive components on the ground around you after you've busted a bunch of fireworks.
So and we're talking about firework safety. We're thinking about the safety aspect of the user, but also, like I said, they get done with it. They leave their trash there. They take off, and again, it is burning. It is over there. It is on fire, and after somebody leaves, it reignites. Now they've got a grass fire, somebody's home burns down. I'm telling you, that stuff really does happen.
Well, on 105, 106 degree day, man, it does not take much. It's already dry, it's humid, it does not take much to get everything going. And again, in all of these, they're gonna say, well, Black Cat Bob's not real smart with this stuff. He's just, I'm not gonna hold fireworks or set fireworks right into my underneath region, right? But here's the thing. Man, that happens. I mean, this was nothing crazy. We are setting it up for demonstration purposes, but I think every demo that we've done here today is absolutely a possibility and could happen.
And none of this is even talking about the really crazy stuff. It doesn't take, like I said, a few minutes on TV to watch. Usually, it's young people not acting, real smart and doing things that it tells you not to do with the fireworks, and that's just ludicrous, just absolutely ludicrous.
They put those warning labels on there for a reason, because that means someone's done it, right? And there has been an injury from it. I mean, that's where those warning labels come from. Somebody somewhere did this, where you're thinking, I would never do it like that. Somebody did.
It says right here, for you not to hold it in your hand, they have to put that on there because somebody held it in their hand.
Somebody did, you're right. So Joey, I think the name of that one was a friendship fountain.
I think that was a friendship
There was
fountain.
not a whole lot of things that were friendly about that.
Not friendly at all.
I mean, Bob's arm here is melted. Again, not a big firework. Not a whole lot of like firepower. It's a little shower of sparks. We did that. We were kind of like finishing up the demo. We looked down and his foot's on fire. I mean, jeans completely engulfed in flames. Several minutes after the firework was done. They're unpredictable. You don't know where they're going. You don't know what around you. I mean, we've been doing several demos here today, so we've got a bunch of trash on the ground, and we don't know what still has charge in it. We don't know what still's got components in it that could ignite and explode. So I mean, it's just highlighting the unpredictability of everything that we're doing here today.
And whenever you think it's out, whenever you think that there's no more danger involved with it, if it's maintaining any degree of heat, being concealed in one way or another, all it needs is air. It's just waiting for the air, and as soon as it gets the air, just like with the leg down there, it's going to take off.
Well, and we obviously we're using Black Cat Bob, so graciously is letting us do several demonstrations to him today. But you can see every time we go to a new demo, he's still smoldering from 2 demos ago. We literally we used the clothes that we used to simulate what would we be wearing normally. And
it would behave much the same way whenever, like I said, if what doesn't burn off melts to him.
Yep.
And that's exactly what it do with somebody.
It's going to do to your actual skin. I mean, that's not just because he is a mannequin.
Right.
As a matter of fact, this hard surface is probably easier to get this clothes off. This going to your soft skin, I mean, there's only one way they can get that off, which is going to cause even more injury and pain, and that is not going to be a fun thing. So Joey, I think Bob's had a pretty rough day here.
Been a long day for Bob.
I know obviously we staged that one.
Sure.
We put it in his mouth, right? And no one's going to put fireworks in their mouth. We literally just heard a story a while ago. My friends used to do that back in college.
Yeah.
I think you could see what could possibly happen here.
Well, and I know, like I said, we had it in their mouth, but the reason that we put it in their mouth is we weren't trying to get it in their mouth. We were just trying to get one to explode near their face. Right. Like if you were to walk up and look over one of the tubes, or even the trash can after you've thrown them away, if you go look over it and it comes out, it's directed. It's limited on where it can go, and that's what we were trying to demonstrate here.
So that charge that we were doing, that is one of those. So the tubes, right? The tube that you basically take the projectile, you light it, you drop it in the tube, and it's going to shoot straight up. Again, we were talking about it. You got to have your hands to light it, and you got to see what you're doing to do it. You lean out over it, and I mean, that speaks for itself. I mean, that is just.
And the only reason we put it in his mouth is because we were going to stand out here and direct it just like you would if he was looking over it, but it was just too unpredictable. We couldn't make sure that we were going to get it in the same area with the wind blowing. It was just too dangerous to even try. So that's the reason we did.
Demonstration, fire truck, several firemen out here, and we didn't feel it was safe, which means chances are it's not safe for you, even if you're following all the rules, right? We know you cannot do fireworks, set fireworks off here inside city limits.
Right.
You've got to be, I believe it's 5,000 feet outside of city limits, about a mile.
So that would put you in the county, but then even then you need to check with the county and see what their laws are.
Right, there's lots of regulations and rules there too. But again, I'm going to keep going back to it. Even as small as a sparkler to as high as one of these artillery shells we just set off, there is no
completely safe way to do it.
There's no completely safe way to do it. The only completely safe way to do it is just like Ross said, go to a fireworks display that someone is licensed and they are professional. They literally do that for a living, and they do know the predictability of what they're about to do. Someone has come out and permitted them to be able to do that. I mean, that's just the safest way. I mean, there's too many what ifs when we're talking about fireworks.
And we're not trying to destroy anybody's fun. We're not trying to rain on anybody's celebration. It's not that at all. It's just the fact that we see so many injuries every year, and it keeps growing. And we're just trying to make people aware of the dangers of playing with fireworks.
Please be careful. Fireworks season is really all the time. Obviously, we know July 4th during the summer, New Year's. I mean, there's and we were talking about even just weddings. It doesn't even have to be a holiday.
Right.
We understand that that's part of Americana and what we do. Sure. Again, we just wanted you to see the possibilities of what could actually happen. Joe, I want to thank you, man. This has been an awesome day. I think it's been an incredible training. Man.
Well, one more thing real quick. I know that they see our faces and they used to see Bob's face, but also we had a lot of help today. Lieutenant Guerin at the fire department lighting all this for us. Of course, Brian's always here taking care of us behind the camera there. Appreciate that. But there's a lot of people that go into this to make everybody aware.
We even have my better half here.
That's right.
Matthews with
You're
the
much better.
Fire prevention. Yeah. So we even had somebody from the fire prevention office here. We checked all of our boxes even as we did this demo. So yes, I want to thank everybody. We had a couple fire trucks standing by. The crew out at our fire training center. We're here kind of on standby in case one of these things went wrong. But man, I just think I think today was pretty impressive and just kind of reminded everybody how serious this stuff can be.
And again, we don't want to get any ugly emails about trying to rain on anybody's. No. This is not that.
That's not the case.
We want you to enjoy your celebration, have a good time. We just want you to be safe.
Absolutely. Well, man, I tell you what, I'm Mason Matthews.
Joey Huffman.
And this was Black Cat Bob. And until next time.
Next time.